y'all? What's up? It's Nick Chavez, man, aka Mr. Be Prepared, Not Scared. So I was riding by today, man, and I just, something was just on my mind, so I felt like I had to just share it with y'all. So um, I'm at the richest place in the world right now, man. So if a lot of y'all know Les Brown or y'all seen Les Brown, then y'all heard certain stories. The richest place in the world is right here. Y'all see it? It's the cemetery, man. So it's the richest place in the world because so many people die with their dreams, man. They die with their dreams, and they never even take them off. Their dreams never even take off. So it's just they die with regrets, or they die with whatever they die with. Some of them may even die like a little sooner than they were supposed to, or stuff like that, because life beat them up so much. Life beat them up to like stress them out to the fact that they may have had a heart attack or a stroke or something like that took them out of here early, man, or they was at the wrong place, or stuff like that. So I want to talk about fear. So for fear, right, I got two acronyms for fear. I got a negative connotation of fear and a positive connotation of fear. So the negative connotation of fear, I got failure to even attempt, really, which means like you know what you're supposed to do, or you got an idea, or you in a place where you're not supposed to be, whether it's mentally, physically, financially, spiritually, wherever. You're in a place where you're not supposed to be, man, and you stay there and you choose to stay there. And then I got the positive connotation for it. So the positive connotation is forget excuses, adjust your road. So if you forget excuses and adjust your road, that means like don't even think about the what ifs or the why nots or suppose it don't. Like you just think about the positive stuff, man. Set your mind on a goal and finish that goal, man, and just do it like that. So a lot of us have fear for a lot of stuff, and I was like that too. So I'm not even saying, I'm saying us, and I'm including myself in this when I say us. So for me, I knew. So for me, I knew that I wanted to do more than what I was doing. So whether it was, me working and like two jobs and stuff like that, I knew that wasn't for me, but I was scared to step out on my own. So it took for me to get hurt before I really stepped out on my own, and then really just relied on my faith. Sometimes life beats you up so much that you kind of take things into your own hands. So you don't, it becomes your will and not God's will at that point. You know what I mean? And then you kind of lose yourself because you losing your faith. So and sometimes, you really get fearful and you do things, or because you act out of fear, you're not making the best decisions. So, like I said, I got hurt. With me getting hurt, I start reading more. I start, like getting my routine back in order, like getting my faith up, making sure I spend time with God, because you got like when in any type of relationship, man, you got to spend time with it, whether it's a business relationship, a physical relationship, a spiritual relationship. You got to spend time with it. And any type of relationship, man, you got to spend time with it. You got to feed it. You got to water. You got to do some stuff where you got to really put some time in it. So if you're not trying to put in the work, or you're not trying to put in no time, like how could you expect that relationship to grow or be bigger than what it is? You can't really do that. So once you really start putting stuff into like when you start putting stuff into that type of perspective, you'll kind of look at stuff different. And then it all starts with, loving yourself too, and knowing who you are, knowing what you want, and knowing what you put in a relationship and knowing what you get out of a relationship. So that's either, like I say, it's either person to person, or you and God, or you in a situation, or whatever the case may be. So the one constant in everything is you. So you got to make sure you're right. So you got to make sure, you loving yourself right, and you doing what's best for you. You can't do what's best for nobody else, man, because then you won't get the results that you're trying to get. So you'll end up being in like a bitter place, or a bad place, or a dark space. So with that being said, man, some of us are master manipulators. So when I did my self-evaluation, I looked at everything as a whole. I was a master manipulator, and I was a master manipulator because I was carrying baggage too. So my baggage I was carrying, and now I'm about to explain everything. My baggage I was carrying was the fact that I grew up without my father, so it was just me and my mother, and I wanted that family unit. I wanted that, that cohesion, like me, my father, maybe some other kids, my mother. I wanted that. I didn't get it. So because I didn't get it, like I said, when I have my son, or when I have my child, I'm gonna be way better than my father. I'm gonna be a better person, a better man than him. And and I was carrying that, and with that, I was still carrying, some type of stress with me. And then, I couldn't worry about what I wasn't getting because my father had to appreciate what I did have, my mother, and my uncles and my aunts and stuff like that. So I had to worry about what I was getting. My father had to deal with whatever he had to deal with on his own. So with that being said, I ended up being in a relationship, and in this relationship, I knew that it wasn't right for me, man, because of how the relationship was going. Like sometimes, you kind of want. You got a relationship in your head and you want it to go a certain way, and it doesn't go that way. And then when it doesn't go that way, it kind of becomes like more of a burden, or stuff like that. It's not really what you want, but you still do it because you just settling for it, or you just you making excuses. You don't want to be alone, or whatever. Whatever your reason is, man. I'm just telling you what my reason was. So for me, when we would break up, we back and forth together 15 years. We would break up. I knew what I had to do, or I knew what I had to say, or I knew what I had to portray to make her think that, okay, yeah, he changed, we could try it again. I had no intentions on, really changing, because I just wanted her. I didn't want to see her happy with nobody else. And that's facts. You know what I mean? As a man, sometimes we let our pride or our ego get in the way. And for me, that's exactly what it was. And then once your pride and your ego was in the way, then that's a selfish relationship. It's nothing good going to come from that selfish relationship. You're not going to be able to pour into her pouring into you. Like, it's just selfish. It's all about you. Like, you. So even if that person that your people was with is putting them in a better position, or they really a good person that's like that, making the joint better, you still feel some type of way. And you that's where your pride, like your pride, your ego really come up. Man, once my girl, always my girl. Once my baby mother, always my baby mother. Even if that means that you killing yourself or her, whether it's figuratively or literally, whether it's you stressing her out or stuff like that, or y'all just, stopping at a certain point and you're not going past this point. So you really got to pay attention to the signs, and you really got to know what's up with yourself and know where you stand as a person, man. So, that was one situation. It's like, once I realized what I was, I self-evaluated myself. I wrote down on a piece of paper and all this stuff, the things I like and things I don't like. And I'm like, I really had to be honest with her. So I sat down, but I say, look, be cool, but for us to be in a relationship, that's not for us. We can still be cool. We got a co-parent and all that stuff, but, that's not for us, because we tried it a numerous amount of times over 15 years, and the same situations popped up. So we got to both be mindful about that. So in being mindful about that, man, the thing is, once you start self-evaluating, man, you got to be truthful with yourself. You got to tell the truth. You got to be truthful, man. And then that's like one of the hardest things to do, because you want to lie, or you want to justify stuff. So I did that, and I got through that situation. So getting through that situation, man, like, you learned a lot about yourself, and like the likes and dislikes and all that stuff. So with that, sometimes you gotta, not sometimes, but you gotta take the good with the bad. Life gonna give you good stuff, life gonna give you bad stuff. But I think that in all pain, you grow in some type of way. So like, when you're working out and stuff like that, your arms and stuff get tight and stuff like that, because your arms are growing. So you grow, and you're getting better. Just like with situations, whatever painful situation it is, you grow, you know what you did wrong, or you know what happened, you know how to grow from that. So that's one situation, man. And then another situation, and this was a more recent situation, like one of the, one of my last relationships, me and her, I really thought it was my soulmate. I really thought it was my soul, because everything matched up. Like, we had this class at my church where, as though, you fill out this piece of paper, and it was a relationship class. You fill out this piece of paper and you see what your answers are, but you're not sitting next to your partner. So we was across the room and our answers added up and all that stuff. So you think that like I really thought this was my soulmate, but for some reason it's like sometimes the past really shapes your future and it beats you up a whole lot, a whole lot. So, like she was just like, man, I'm in a dark place. I'm not where I want to be. This, that. This was like months after we did this. So I'm like, oh, man. So I'm like, man, like you got to kind of get out of that. And the only person that can get you out of that is yourself. You can't, bank on nobody else to get you out of that situation. You got to, get yourself out of there. So with that being said, it's like sometimes when you're at a certain place and somebody is not there yet, you can't really rush them to do certain things. So you got to let them do their own thing, but still speak life into them and really like speak life into them, because they may not have, life may have defeated them to the point that all they think they're good for, all they are good for is, just working or like just being in a dark place or stuck in a rut. So for me, it's like, I had to really take that into consideration. Like I couldn't get mad. It's like, man, look, you gonna figure it out, man. You too good to be in this dark place or whatever. And it's like that hurt me to death because I love her kids. She loved my son, you know what I mean? And then the little one, me and him spent the most time together. So me and him, like that's my little man. We got a little bond. So like in order for me to go, I had to really do what was best for that situation, which was let her figure out what she needed to do. I still do my internal stuff and get myself right. You know what I mean? So like for me, like I say, I'm not letting no outside situation disturb, my inner peace. And it's not saying it's a bad thing or a good thing, but if it's going to be disruptive or whatever, like, man, we got to figure something out, because I need my peace to be good so that I can help other people or pour into other people. So, with that, you got to think about the toxic relationships or toxic situations or toxic places where you are. So I did another thing today. So I looked at my phone and I looked at the last 5 people I talked to. I said, man, look, if these people positive or negative influences in my life, are they where I want to be or whatever? So like that's hard too, because separating yourself from different people that you're used to or different environments that you're used to, like separate yourself is hard, man. It's really hard. So sometimes we don't want to do that because, like I say, with people, with us, we don't want to change. Sometimes like we don't want to change. We want to stay in our comfort zone and be comfortable and be, oh yeah, I'm good. I know this place to be familiar. You can only grow when you get out your comfort zone, man, and you travel, or you traveling the unknown. You know what I mean? Like you growing and you learning different stuff as you go along, and you can't be scared. You can't be scared to step out there, because if you got faith, know that if you jump out somewhere on faith, God either going to catch you or give you wings to keep on doing what you're doing. That's not saying that you need to have lazy faith. Like, oh man, God, look, yeah, I got faith. Oh yeah, I God love you, God, yeah, and you're not doing nothing. You just think that, okay, God just going to put this in my lap. No, that's not the case. That's not the faith I'm talking about. Faith without works is dead. So you got to work on it. You got to work on whatever it is in life that you want. So like, and it starts with you. Once you work on you and see what makes you happy, then everything else can, gradually fall in the place where it needs to fall at. You know what I mean? So that's just like one of the things, a couple of things that I wanted to say. And then, just thinking about how like the people around your life shape your life. So like some of y'all may know, like I said, I made mention of it. Like I lost my uncles. I lost my uncle and my aunts. My grandmother lost 2 children. So I was talking to my grandmother one day. I was like, Mama, you strong, man. Like, how you do that? She said, Nick, you know what? She said, I got to be strong for the people that I'm going to meet that lost their children or lost their child. I got to be strong for them, because I got to make sure they're good and pour into them. And when I looked at it from my grandma's perspective, I'm like, Mama, so even in your time of pain, you worried about, somebody else. And my grandmother was more so like, yeah, Nick, I gotta make sure they're good. I know where my faith is, and I know what God's gonna do for me and has done for me. And that made me change my whole perspective. Like, you know what? Sometimes you gotta focus, not sometimes, but if you focus on the mission over the money or over whatever else, man, like Good stuff is gonna follow you, man. Like it just has to. Focus on the mission, not the money, and don't make it about yourself. Don't make it ego. If you make it ego and it's selfish, there's nothing good gonna come from that, man. Just be like water. So water is purity. So like some of y'all talking about other videos, like I like water, it helped me think. Water is purity, is pure, you know what I mean? And it adapts to any situation. So if it's too cold, water will freeze, you know, or if it's a rock or something in the water, the water go between it, over it, or whatever the case may be. No matter what situation it is, water adapts to it. Water don't worry about what's behind it. Don't worry about the past or none of that stuff. It just keep moving forward. So if we take that approach, man, like it don't matter what happened behind us. Our past shaped us, of course. Yeah, our past shaped us. But if we adapt to our present and our future, man, like that's what we gotta look at, man. We gotta look at where we want to be. Zig Ziglar said it best. Your current situation is not your final destination. You keep working towards it, man. Working towards being a better person, a better this, a better that. You'll be good, man. Like you just got to keep working towards that, man. So with all that being said, man, I just hope that, like, hopefully, some people, whoever needed to hear this, hopefully you heard it. If you know somebody that needs to hear it, share it, like it, comment. I do all that, man. We gonna focus on the mission, not the money, man. So I do videos 2 days a week. So Tuesdays I do more videos like this. On Wednesdays I do financial, like wealth videos. Wealth don't always necessarily mean monetary. It can mean like your self-health. Your health is your wealth. Your self-health is your wealth. So love yourself, man. Start doing that. So we just gonna focus on these videos. So like them, share them, comment. I respond to comments. If you need to set up any type of consultation about anything about, but not anything, but if you need to set up a consultation about any videos that you like or see, or you just need more information about it, the website is www.bepreparednotscared.net. If you prepared, man, you won't be scared for nothing. So let's do this. Let's focus on the mission, not the money. Like it, share it. Like, comment. If you know somebody that might need to hear it, like, man, really push it to them, because sometimes, you know, we go through things, especially as men. We go through things, we keep it internal. We want to keep our feelings. Like, oh, you hurt my feelings. We don't want to say stuff like that. Like, but we gotta embrace our feelings and not be like prisoners of our emotions. So hopefully, man, this resonate with somebody. Let's build ourselves and then build this wealth, man. So be prepared, not scared. Thank you. I'll holler at y'all. I'm sorry. Thank you. And I will post the other video for tomorrow on Wednesday. But I will see y'all Tuesday and Wednesday. And y'all be blessed. Be prepared, not scared.